Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic Friday and have got a great weekend planned ahead of you. Today we're going to be giving you an overall crypto market update. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the total money in the cryptocurrency market, which is looking very, very likely that we are going to see new all-time highs for the market cap of crypto. We're going to be going over some huge news. You guys will remember this video that we put out on the 30th of September, I think 16 days ago now, where we spoke about the fact that an ETF, a futures ETF, was very likely. Now, a futures ETF, I don't see many people making this distinction, is different from an ETF of Bitcoin. A futures ETF essentially is a derivative of an ETF. Very complex, we're not really going to go into that, but this is absolutely huge, and we did say that this was coming. We also have a number of bullish signals, bullish patterns playing out in the charts. There's a lot of confirming data, confirming news, dogma surrounding the direction of where crypto is going, and that is up. And ultimately, this ties in very nicely with the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. And you guys will know that we are expecting a 2017 or prior to that 2013-esque end to this year. This is going to see Bitcoin, in my opinion, go above $100,000 and see altcoins absolutely go to the moon. Sorry for using that phrase, but it is quite applicable to where many of these altcoins are going to go. So really what I want to do to start with, guys, is take a look at the overall market cap, which is currently at $2.42 trillion. Now this is the chart, the total money in crypto, and you guys will know that we had this cup and handle structure. There was also somewhat of a head and shoulders, but ultimately this has an upside target to roughly 3.8 trillion dollars. So that's significantly higher than where we are today. Bitcoin, of course, is going to take up quite a lot of this, certainly if this is true. You know, one reason why an ETF is now looking likely is essentially because the SEC Investor Ed, which is the official kind of education that the SEC put out in regards to investing, released this tweet yesterday saying, before investing in a fund that holds Bitcoin futures contracts, make sure you carefully weigh the potential risk and benefits. Check out our investor bulletin to learn more. I've read through this. Why would the SEC be releasing this if they weren't going to approve a futures ETF for Bitcoin? This is looking exceptionally likely this month. Number of people speculating on when this is going to be, potentially Monday. These are the filings for the ETFs, the future ETFs, and the just normal ETFs. And essentially you've got the 18th of October, which is a Monday. So this could be approved. It's going to be any time now, potentially in this month. This is an article here that came out 8 hours ago. SEC likely to allow Bitcoin future ETF to trade next week. And this, of course, was, I believe, a Bloomberg report who did indeed say that there was like a 70% likelihood that an ETF was going to be approved for Bitcoin in the month of October. This is going to be the very catalyst that sends Bitcoin above and beyond its all-time highs, because an ETF essentially would mean that many people who can't have exposure to Bitcoin through regulatory issue, through security issues, big companies, big firms, big institutions, will now have the green light to invest. And in regards to these companies that hold cash on their balance sheets, which is some of them a large portion of cash, which is a continuous, it's an inflationary asset in the sense that your $1 is worth less than $1 in regards to buying power each year. And this has been hyper inflated due to what we've all gone through in the last 2 years and the way that the chair of essentially the people in charge of monetary policies have essentially just gone about printing money into infinity. This was Senator Loomis talking about Bitcoin, giving it praise publicly.
Presidents of both parties have run up the debt irresponsibly with no plan to address it. So thank God for Bitcoin and other non-fiat currencies that transcends the irresponsibility of governments, including our own. That is an indictment of our responsibility, Democrats and Republicans, presidents and Congress.
we'll leave that there, guys. I hope you could hear that. That was powerful. If you didn't hear that for whatever reason, head over to @RealAllInCrypto, which is my Twitter. You get some more timely updates. We give some thoughts that we have on the markets and some kind of TA that we do. So all roads are leading to Jerusalem at this point. And on top of that, in the charts, you've got these patterns. I mean, for Bitcoin, for example, this head and shoulders, we'll put these targets in very roughly just to show you an idea of where this looks like it's going. So this is your cup and handle structure. There's also a head and shoulders, really, that both kind of, we'll just do this basic one here, guys. This is taking you up to around about $79,000 for Bitcoin. It's also the same for the head and shoulders. You guys will know that we did call the head and shoulders out a long time ago now in regards to, this potential head. This is the inverted chart for Bitcoin. This, of course, is the Bitcoin chart the right way up, and we said this is a likely play. And it's come to fruition, guys. This is the right way up for Bitcoin. This is the inverted chart. It's all apparent, all roads are leading to Jerusalem at this point. Things are looking good. The SEC wouldn't put something like this out on their official educational Twitter unless they were considering or had in the pipelines the approval for a futures ETF. And remember, a futures ETF is different from an ETF. What Senator Loomis was talking about there is really the reason why you're going to see so many people flock into Bitcoin, so many big institutions, because they're not going to hold the dollar, which is a continual, it continues to go down in terms of monetary or buying power through inflation, through many other things, which is a tool that I believe is used to enslave mankind. It's used to keep you in the class that they deem you to be in. It's not good what's going on a kind of macro financial scale. It's really why I have this as my header on my Twitter, because this is what I want people to do. I want them to peer behind the veil, behind this kind of narrative that you've been given from a child, and see what's really going on. That's quite deep. I don't mean for it to be deep. It's just that, I have a vested interest in trying to educate people towards hopefully changing their lives and getting out of a form of slavery, which is really what I think monetary systems do. So things are looking fantastic. I mean, Bitcoin essentially is now putting in this trend. After you have this kind of falling wedge, you've gone on to put a higher high, higher low, higher high, potentially setting a higher low, and then we see continuation. In regards to the more immediate term, what's likely to happen for Bitcoin? Well, it's looking perfect, guys. You're just setting up for more continuation right now. You are at a major level of resistance, which we did give you over here. This high here, and then this one are the ones that you've got to try and take out. And what's very likely to take place, we'll quickly put these charts, these lines on the board, is something like this. Can you see how you get rejected here? You could come down. This EMA could hold you as support before then taking it. This is common. You'll often run to a resistance, bounce off it, set up, and then go through it on the next impulsion. This is certainly true. This is how markets move. I can show you plenty of examples of that, like here for a quick example. Can you see this? You come up, you bounce off it before setting up. And sometimes you'll have a deeper rejection before actually going through it. The same thing took place over here, guys. Can you see this is your line of come up, you reject before setting through it. This is very common that you run into resistance. The main thing that you want to see is that you don't sell off from it in any kind of severity. As long as you just kind of bounce back from it, set up for more continuation, set up potentially a bit of a bull flag over here, ready for that continuation. You are going to see new all-time highs for Bitcoin this year. There's no doubt in my mind about that. That's not financial advice, all just my own opinion, but this ETF approval could be the very catalyst that gets you there. This is huge what's going on right now, guys. There's something far, far more than an investment taking place with crypto. Of course, it is, in my opinion, one of the most promising investments that we're probably going to see in our lifetime across the board, not just Bitcoin, but many of the altcoins. But there's something far greater going on here. Certainly, Loomis brought up some points about the fact that the recognized currency system that we use is a complete joke. If you think about the fact that everybody works for money, everybody gives up the best years of their life for money. The majority of people do anyway, yet nobody really takes an interest on where that money comes from, who controls it. I think this is a big issue that we need to educate people more on, and that's a personal goal of mine on this channel, because we've all fallen victim to monetary system, whether we like it or not. We've all fallen victim to inflation. If you get paid a wage, you're a direct victim of inflation. You need to wake up to this. Investing has changed my life, literally changed my life. I couldn't be sat here right now making videos for you at 2 p.m. on a Friday if it wasn't for investing and me gaining that financial freedom to do that. And I believe that the same opportunity can be given to many of you out there. So that's a bit of a side note, a little bit soppy there, guys. But ultimately, this is huge. The ETF approval, you've got the SEC now weighing in on this. This article, I think, was about Bitcoin jumps. This was from the video we released on the 30th of September. Bitcoin jumps as the SEC Gensler reiterates support for futures ETF. It's coming, guys. It's looking very, very likely. And if this ETF here, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, is the first one to get approved, that's coming on Monday. You're going to see the price of Bitcoin go absolutely crazy as a result of this. And the total too, you've got your sort of rough targets. We're not a professional TA guy, by the way. We do trade. We do take some short-term trades with about 5% of my portfolio, rather profitably. But ultimately, I'm an investor. I spend a lot of time looking at macroeconomics. I spend a lot of time looking at history. The keys to life in many respects are in history. And people get, when the word history comes up, they get very bored and off-put by it due to the fact that at school, nobody really wanted to sit there and be in that class. But it's a lot more interesting and endearing than I think people give it credit for. So that's really what we're looking at, guys. You've got your targets. This is what you're looking at for Bitcoin. You've got this key level of resistance that we did give you. And ultimately, you're battling that now, but you are going to go through this. I would quite like to see you come down, allow this EMA to creep up, pushing you up. Because in these uptrends, this EMA, certainly the 20 EMA, the 21 EMA, will act as support. Can you see this? Uptrend, it's got you as support. Downtrend, it's got you as resistance. And you're now looking like you've made that support and resistance flip. And ultimately, guys, you will know that we are anticipating a 2017-esque style finish to the bull run, which I believe is going to see Bitcoin well over 100,000. Altcoins absolutely fly, and this is what we're on track for. All roads are leading, all data points, the on-chain data for Bitcoin, which we've reiterated to you throughout each crash, each pullback that we've had, and these are just pullbacks. If you look at Bitcoin on a macro scale, take it off the 4-hour. If I'm going to talk about the macro scale, put it on a log. These are just higher highs and higher lows, guys. This is what you're doing. Even the bear market is really just a higher low, higher high, higher low. You're on a journey here. You're on an adoption curve, and ultimately, I think this year is going to play out in a similar way to 2017. If I take it off log scale, it makes a lot more sense. This is 2017. It wasn't really till after November's really where you saw the most gain. The next 3 months are supposed to be an epic 3 months, and you may have just had the news to kind of support that and back that up. So that's really all I have for you in this video. Some interesting thoughts there. This was Senator Loomis. This is on my Twitter. It was posted by Michael Saylor. She said, "Thank God for Bitcoin." Wow. Very strong words that she's using there. She is a big ambassador for the crypto space, or certainly Bitcoin and some of the Ethereum and other coins like that. But things look great, guys. Things look absolutely fantastic. Can you see what you're doing here? You're just coming up, you're testing, and you're off on your journey to $3.8 trillion. And ultimately, Bitcoin's going to take a good share of this, but your altcoins are going to do fantastic. Right now, you're just seeing Bitcoin lead the market. We've done this on a number of occasions where we've looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart and shown you that on recoveries, Bitcoin dominance will go up, and then it will kind of, pull back. Not meaning that the price of Bitcoin pulls back. The price of Bitcoin will keep going up, but altcoins will outperform and actually gain more traction. That's what we're anticipating for your altcoins. Very quickly, before I wrap the video, guys, we do have a stake pool for Cardano. We are looking for people to delegate to us. We would like to get to that stage where we're minting blocks and we can start dishing out rewards and becoming an active member in the decentralization of the Cardano network, as it's one of, if not our favorite crypto. And also, we are looking to do some charitable work. We're already in talks with somebody in regards to food banks and how we can get hands-on and actually active in doing that ourselves and helping out in that. So we've got plenty of great things coming up for the stake pool and the partakers in it. We also have a Discord working on websites, etc., etc. But that's all to come, guys. So if you can delegate, the name of the pool is ALLIN. That's really all I have for you. Things are looking fantastic, ladies and gents. Ultimately, we're expecting a fantastic couple of months to end this year. 3 months nearly. Potentially going into next year in a similar way to the 4-year cycle theory plays out. We will be making a video on when you potentially should be selling your crypto, which is a hard... I've seen many guides out there. There's not one answer to give people. You could say, look, if we're going to go into a bear market in 2020, it'd be a good idea to sell before then. But it depends on your personal situation. So me, I've been in crypto for nearly 5 years now. I bought throughout the bear market. I am going to be taking profits towards the end of the year. I'm also going to be keeping a small, around about 20% of my overall crypto that I'm just going to stake, and I'm in for the long term. But I will be taking quite a bit of profits. But if you just got into crypto and you don't mind your money sitting there for, 4 or 5 years to come, hey, maybe it's not time to take profits this year and you could ride it out. It's really a tailor-made question. But that's all I have for you. I don't want to keep boring you on your Friday. Just a nice relaxed video, basic overall market update, hopefully nice and easy to understand. This is the main news in the headlines. The SEC approving a Bitcoin futures ETF, not ETF. A futures ETF is a derivative of an ETF. I will potentially make some more financial videos for you. I don't have a background in economics. I don't have a background in finance. My background's actually in dentistry. But I've spent 5 years looking into this stuff, researching it, looking at the history of it, getting acquainted. I mean, derivatives was called by Warren Buffett the mother of all evils. So yeah, we will make some more videos on finance as a whole if you want. Because understanding some key aspects of it has really changed my life, and I think it could do the same for many of you out there. That's all I have for you in this video, ladies and gents. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you enjoyed the content, like as always appreciated, so as a comment, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.